On this episode of Morning Brew with the homeowners, I'm talking to the contractor who have dispute with the homeowner over tarp he put on their roof. They didn't sign a contract and they're bashing him on the internet now. Listen to the story. Hey, brother.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Just going through the patch.
Absolutely. Let's talk about your situation. Unfortunately, it's pretty common and sad situation for the contractors. So let's start with your story. I want to hear your side.
So first of all, we got called in the area because it got smashed with hail. So there was one of my sales, his nephew lived in that area. So that's how we got there. So we start on in his house, of course, and then we got a couple houses near where he's at. And then one of my brothers that is also part of the company, he went around the neighborhood. We don't do door knocking, so we only approach the customers if they're outside. So he approached this customer and said, "Hey, we're here in the area. We know you guys, got hit with the storm. We can take a look at it, assess the damage, and tarp what it needs to be tarp." So she will agree to that. The only thing that he didn't do is just, and we always do it, is say, "Hey, if we tarp, it will be a charge for the tarp that the insurance will pay for it." And
He
yeah,
didn't do it?
that was never be. No, he didn't do. He didn't say that to the customer, and that was our mistake on our end. But even I talked to my lawyer, and he's like, "It doesn't matter. Like, she let you because he told her that we had that he was gonna inspect, assess the damage, and then we had the guys tarping behind us, and so she let us tarp we were more looking for anything to get tarp because we already know that the roof, it was completely gone, taking pictures of everything that it was broken. So we cover the ridge that they were smashed with the hail, that it kind of break the ridge all the way through. Same thing with the shingles. So the areas that they were more compromised, that we can that we tile the water can get on it, because we know we had another rain coming in later. And then some broken windows frame that they had the hole actually on the frame. So we zip tape those holes, not bore or anything like that, unless it was completely broken. We did another house that we had to actually bore the whole window, but those windows was smashed all the way through. But not in that case.
Did she sign any agreement with your company that you will work for insurance proceeds? Any paper was signed?
Well, she didn't. Well, that's the thing with us. We don't get them sign anything until we actually get to work with for the claim, so that we lift that gap, and say, "Hey, we give that trust to you, not signing anything with us."
You know what I'm gonna say, right? That's
Yeah.
I mean, listen.
And I know we had to protect ourselves, and
It's not even about protection. I think it comes from insecurity and weakness because, in order for the sales rep to claim the job, you have to get a signature. So, a problem in the roofing industry, we give so much for free, free inspection, free, right? We don't work for free. If you don't have agreement, like I run a company and I had 4 or 5 sales guys working for me. If sales guys come to me and say, "Oh, they're gonna sign with me, I got this deal," I'm like, BS, show me the paper. If you tell me you have, really good connection, you get this $100,000 job, I don't count my chickens until they had I want to see the paperwork. Show me the agreement. So if you come to me as my sales rep and say you sold 3 jobs today, said give me the files. Oh, I didn't sign them yet. So you didn't, because the sale is you making a promise, convincing them to hire your company and having that agreement. And especially, well, your argument is that you did the work. Well, you didn't do the work. You did do the work. If you didn't do the work, you wouldn't try to get paid now. So now you're doing the work for nothing. With no cost. Now, here's another problem with your business model. If you did not talk about pricing, if you did not tell people how much it cost, you're the contractor. So the whole thing of a contractor, like contract, is you contracting to do something, right? And I know that there are a lot of homeowners take advantage of contractors. It would be a completely different story if they sign an agreement that you're gonna represent them with insurance claim and you started working and then they go behind your back and hire someone else. That's one thing. The perfect scenario here is they sign the agreement and they give you what? They give you their deductible. Now there's money exchanged, right? But it's not easy thing to do, and only strong people in business can do it. Strong salespeople who can overcome objections, read people well, read the BS, and not only protect themselves in the company, but get paid for their time, right? If you sign an agreement and you don't have money exchanged legally, it's also hard. So in your case, you did the work and they hire someone else. Think about this way. So someone else probably have a contract. You don't, right? Someone else is gonna do the work with the company. Now, you wanna get paid for the tarp. Here's my question. How much do you charge for your tarp?
Well, I never come up to say how much I was gonna charge. So on this situation, the way we train, like, ourselves is to build a relationship with the customer, correct? Because we just don't want, we're not door knockings. We not just want to make a sale. We want to build that relationship with the customer because we want that customer for life. We don't want that customer for just one time, Yeah, our situation was like, yeah, we over trust on some stuff when we don't make them to sign right up front. One thing we do, and we say to all our customers, we say, you are responsible for your deductible. We're not waive any deductibles. I know you know how it is in this industry. There's still people out there waiving deductibles, and they come up and they get your job. Other than that, I will have any problems to compete with anybody on quality.
So my question is, I want to challenge you, brother.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why do you think that not having a signature builds trust? I would argue that signature builds trust more than non-signature. So looks like you want to be a nice guy. You're telling me, oh, we're not asking for signature. We don't want to pressure them. We want to build relationship. You know what builds relationship in business? Agreements. When you say you're gonna do something, you agree to it, we build trust. Now I have to deliver on what I'm promising you. If there's no contract, if there's no paper trail, it's your word against your word. There's no business made. Like, for example, let's say you build a bit, you want to sell your business, and I come to you and say, hey, I want to buy your company. What do? You say, I do 5 million a year. Oh, I'll buy your company for $5 million. You come home to your wife, say, hey, I sold my company for $5 million today. This investor gonna buy me, right? And then for 3 weeks, I don't answer my phone calls. And you're like, hey, Dimitri, you said you're gonna buy my company. I was like, I changed my mind. Did I, right? So in order for me to buy a company, I want to write agreement, maybe a letter of intent. Hey, we look at your books. We want to buy your company. We want to, if this checks out, right? Now I take you seriously because you're giving me paper trail. You give me letter of intent. When people want to hire someone or fire someone or buy a business or sell a business or do business with them, when you go to the car dealer, I love this tactic. In a car dealer, they know psychologists so well because they're ahead of us when sell. What do they do? When you go to the dealer, they say,
they trust me. I went through that, and I had like 3 or 4 salespeople, and then even the manager came. But we know how.
But no. But what do they do? Have you ever have a car sales rep say, if I get this for $25,000, we have a deal? Yes. Can you sign? Right? And it's like, it could be a napkin, but they have you sign. Why? Because that builds trust. They want you to commit to them. So you cannot tell me that you build a relationship with a homeowner who did not sign anything with you. That does not build trust. That actual opposite. It's exactly what happened in this scenario because here's how homeowner sees it. They're like, I didn't sign anything. I don't owe them anything. There's no relationship. You know, if you love her, put a ring on it. Otherwise, it's just
Yeah, and in my situation, I'm not really want to charge that homeowner. You know, it's fine. Like, okay, yeah, we don't want to do things for free. Yes. What really bothers me, it's like, you know, for them to be putting up there that we are fraud, you know, and that's something that we take pride of what we do. You know, we've been in business since 2011. We haven't had any bad review. We haven't had anybody experience. So I have that on my back. I have my customers like that. I haven't screwed anyone. We're not in this business
so
to screw people up. And
what did they do? They wrote a review or they spread a rumor or what did they do?
so they she actually posted on Facebook page on that community,
Mhm.
and she actually wrote my name because I was the one who reached out to her after she was going with someone else.
Mhm.
And she actually wrote my brother's name and put the sign in there and say uh,
They're scammers.
alert fraud or something like that. And I
Okay.
have that, and the good thing, I have somebody, I guess, from that community that reach out to me, calling my brother's cell phone, but asking for me. So I call him back, and that's when he's like, hey, you got somebody blasting you on social media, you know, I'm gonna send you a screenshot. And I got that from that guy, and that's how I know like that she actually did it. You know, the time when I reach out to her, I never was disrespectful. I never say, hey. I just say, hey, this is Vidal, I'm just calling to see what's going on. I heard from Roman that you are going with someone else. And so first thing, they were lying to us. And one thing, there, her husband texted my brother. He's the one that it was taking care of the claim through the insurance, because we don't claim the claims through the insurance. We let them to do the claim.
Mhm.
And so everything goes through them. The check, they don't go through us. And whenever we sign the agreement, yeah, we do sign an agreement whenever we go through with everything. And then we say, well, this is where we upgrade, this is where we change in, you know, all the stuff. And then we make them sign there before we go any, even if we had to supplement anything to the insurance. Uh, so we make them sign for that. Um, so he's like, okay, well, we cancel it because my wife talked to someone else. All right. And when I reach out to her, she's like, no, my husband talked to someone else and they're doing our roof and our cars, because the roof and cars got smashed. So I was like, okay, well, that's good. I mean, you're free to go with whoever you need to go. I was like, I just want to let you know that I'm gonna send you a bill. And as soon as I said that, I couldn't speak anything else. She just went like blah 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 blah. She was calling her husband. Get in Facebook. I'm gonna post this in social media. Get right now. Blah blah blah. And I was like, this is fraud. You want to go down the road? You want to go in the legal stuff? I was like, man, I'm just telling you. I was like, I'm just trying to. I'm just gonna tell you that I was gonna send you a bill. I didn't say even like how much it was gonna be the bill. You know, I'm not saying that I'm charging $5,000 just to put a small tarp. You know, a few pieces of tarp. You know, I didn't even say a number. As soon
Mhm.
as I said that I was gonna send her a bill, she's like, "Well, I was never told. They said it was a free inspection." I was like, "Say free inspection? I mean, you." She said it. You know, free inspection. Yeah, that's free. But we never say we give you free tarp. You know.
So how much would you send her bill for?
No, I haven't even sent her bill.
I know, but
But I was thinking like, you know, I was charged like $750. You know, even though we spent quite a time. You know, but that was actually the last house that we end up wrapping everything out, because there was still some stuff like to seal, like with the zip tape on the windows. Everything else was tarp on the roof. But then and she was really good. I mean, she was one of those customers that you're like, man, I wish everybody would be like that. You know,
Mhm.
she even give like my son. My brother had his son with him, is she even offered them breakfast. Like she was too nice,
Well,
and there and
I,
then
I'm
everything
still, I'm still
everything
feeling
went south.
I hope you learn your lesson here. That
I did trust.
especially if the nice people, so she lets you in the house, you do the work, everything is good. Sign the paperwork, put the ring on it. This is what you do. You know, like it's a relationship, but it's a business relationship. It's a
Business. Yep.
contract. Without it, nothing happened. And actually, I would argue people will take you seriously when you do that. Like, I don't care how nice they are. I don't care, how they make me feel. Before we start, I just need to, for the office, for the protocol, for our system, for our process, I just need to get a signature from you. And if they say no to it, that there's no relationship built. That's actually a great indicator what's really happening. So if they playing games, if they getting more estimates, they will tell you. So don't ever go with your feelings. You're the contractor and you have to go by the contract. Now, I see both sides here. I see why homeowners got mad because most likely, here's how I see what took place here. So you're nice guys, and you know the saying, nice guys don't like finish last. Unfortunately, you're the nice guy who finished last in this story. Someone beat you, right? So you
Yeah,
were
yeah.
first, but now you're last. So you came out, you're super nice, and nice guys easy to take advantage of. So you offer so much stuff. And think also about homeowners' perception of roofers. Oh, we make too much money and this and that, right? So do you guys drive lifted trucks there?
I mean, we do. I mean, I drive a lifted truck. Yes, I do.
Oh, but,
Uh,
but but think about perception, right? So you come on this big lifted trucks, like, oh, this guy is loaded. You go, you offer whatever. So she plays her game, you play, and then someone else comes behind you, and more aggressive. This company probably not as nice as you are. Probably make them sign something, promise them arm and like way more, promise them take care of vehicles, take care of the roof, right? So they're like, okay, this is more legit company. They probably signed something with them, and now you call them and say you're gonna send them a bill. So they probably get offended by it. It's like, what? No, I thought it's free. And they probably deep inside know that they're doing something wrong, but they have two companies after them and one sign agreement, take care. Anyway, so I see them. And I think if I were you, my advice is I would publicly respond to that Facebook post. I would make like, don't let them bash your name. I would, if you're willing not to charge them, tell them, ma'am, we're not gonna charge you. It was miscommunication. We did the work. It's on us. Whatever you want to do, whatever you think is right. I'm not telling you to forgive them, but it's your decision. But just try to reason with them. Say, I know you're bashing us. It affects us, our reputation. It's hard to be in business. We didn't do anything wrong. We were trying to help you, and now we feel like we don't deserve this review. And even if it's not with her, reply online, or if you see it anywhere, just public response for business owner. People read it more than even original, because how you respond matters now more. And even doing this podcast, sheds a good light on you. You're a good guy, you're a nice guy, and they probably nice people, but it's stressful situation for the homeowner. They hear the stories, they probably been offended. I mean, who knows what kind of day she had that day.
yeah, and I mean, I do understand, and I do understand. When and sometimes I feel like it probably was best not to go with the full situation. Uh, and I know good in reading people. Like I said, I mean, as soon as I started when people is too nice, now like that's a little bit too much. Yeah, like you want coffee, you want this, you want chocolate, we can make you. I was like, no man, we're good. She brought us like some waters, we take that, okay. But I was like, no, we're good, we're good. But apparently my brother, the one he was doing that sale, I mean, he played with his heart. I was like, you cannot be like that heart open, or like you had to think like with your head before you think with your heart. or like don't. I mean, sometimes I know you will see like these people would not never screw me out, but I would like that. That can be wrong. That can be the people that actually will. As soon as you walk outside the door, will get you in the back. I was like,
Look,
you had to know where your boundaries, where not where to stop, Um,
you know,
so but
there are a lot of companies who are trained to go after companies like yours. So I know a lot of sales trainers, a lot of coaches in this industry who will knock at the doors knowing there's a yard signs and knowing their company, right? So if you have a reputation or if they know you that you're a nice guy, there are people who will go bash you, competition will bash you, they will target your customers, and they only need to ask one question. Do you have a contract signed with them? If the answer is no, it's a
then they
wild
start
card
from
list.
there.
Yeah, go and sign it. And so essentially you lose into your competition because of it, but you also doing, I feel like, disservice to your people because you need their commitment. You need them to be on your side. You need, and it
Oh,
doesn't take,
trust me, I have that done. I have that done already. As soon as that happens, I have that done already, and I see that a lot, But I think where I see most of it is like the people they're still waiving those deductibles, and that's how they beating us. Because that's when we think that we bring to the customer at front and say, we do not waive deductibles. You're responsible for your deductible, you know. And people when they're like, oh, but they're I was like, yeah, there's somebody up there. That's fine, but we're not, you know. And
lead
sometimes
with it.
you get people there. They're like, oh yeah, yeah, you don't have to pay anything. We get you covered. Just sign over here. No, we got you. I
Right,
mean,
right.
personally, and that's not where we are. That's not where we are. That's not where I really want to be. You know, I even though yes, I had this experience. I know it was gonna come. We've been in business 11. I mean, since 2011, and this is the first customers that we have this.
Oh, wow.
It's not even our customer yet. Because we never, like you said, we never signed anything. We just helped them, and that help bite us back. You know, so playing nice would not always
Yeah,
good.
don't dwell, don't sweat it, don't dwell on it. Learn from it. It's a good lesson for you because it's good that you didn't get this job. Maybe
Yeah.
you would do the entire job and didn't get paid $10,000 at the end because people like that will find a way not to pay. Maybe they will not pay that contractor too. Who knows? If they're that not reasonable, but you go with your gut feeling. But I still recommend. I don't agree with your assessment that it builds trust to go it easy. For me, trust is built when commitment is exchanged. I'm telling you what I'm gonna do. You're telling me what are you gonna do. Let's say, like, I'm actually really, really big on the change orders. So if you hire me and you ask for something extra, I will find time in my day to go to drive to you for to sign piece of paper. I remember years ago, this homeowner asked me to change his router. His garage roof was sagging, and I quoted him $1,500 and to fix it. He said, "Sure, let's do it." And I did not feel good in me to like something was off, and I drove like hour and a half. It was like way far job for me, and I drove it, and he signed it. And later, sure enough, it took him 4 weeks to pay me, and I'm glad that I did because he was saying we didn't pull a permit. I pulled a permit on it, and we did inspection and everything. But that guy was difficult at the end, and I'm glad I have a paperwork to show for because it's not he said, she said. It's he could easily say, well, they said it will be included. No, like contract, change orders in writing, or it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely right. I was just telling that to my wife. I was like, maybe that was a sign. Like maybe that's God telling me like, don't go all the way in, because it could have been worse, Could have been like we did everything right, but she would still not pay us for something that we say, oh, this wasn't like that. This wasn't, that was not completely right, or it was never like this before. So I was like, it might just be bad, that, yeah, but it's only like that community. But I do want to go on that page, and I'm not even like gonna refer to her. I'm gonna explain who
Just
we
tell
are. you know who we are, what we doing, you know what, and even whenever we start roofing in that community, well, I'm gonna go loud to bring people in and say we here. I mean, we're in the face. Like if you go to my website, our faces are there. We don't have anything to hide. We don't have anything that is gonna buy us. Any customer that is gonna come back and say, yeah, that guy is like that. We don't. We haven't had any leaks in all these years because we do things right. We take, you know, we go like, we take like, you know, some roofers, they just think on doing the roof. They forget about the chimney. They forget about everything else that it can leak, and you're gonna get that color, right? So we try to prevent all that. Even like I have seen Da Vinci, Decra, any other products that they don't reflash the chimney. They don't reflash the skylights. And you have a 50 years product, but you didn't reflash the areas that they're gonna leak. So like, what are you doing? You know, and even big companies do that a lot. So we address all those areas, customize kind of flashing. We don't buy the kind of flashing for the suppliers that 5-inch and that it bends and everything. Now we made our own kind of flashing, whatever size we need. Put new stuff flashing. I mean, you know, everything. Same thing on skylines, chimney caps. We also like material wise, like those things are not gonna break. So we're trying to always address of that and say, hey, well, there's some of this stuff that the insurance pay, but there's other stuff that they won't pay, especially for rotting wood on your chimney, they will not pay. So
I'm sorry, I have another call coming up. We have to wrap it up. My last advice is what you can do. You're a good guy in the industry. You're doing everything right. You don't have to sell me on you. I'm already sold. So another thing you can do, you can take this podcast and comment on that post, sharing your story so people can actually listen, you speak, you explaining the story. I've done it. Sometimes I record a video and reply to review. You know, people like.
Hey, if you send me what we have, you know, I put it because I was thinking and do a video, you know, whenever I'm gonna stack everything together because I really just don't want to let it go. I don't like let it go in the part that, you know, when it's affecting us, like for something there. I tell my brother, like, we don't have anything to be apologized because we didn't do anything wrong.
Agreed.
What we had to do, just try to help. We got this, you know.
Good job, guys. All right, man. Later.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me, and that just really means a lot to me.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you too.
Hey, take care.
What a good guy. Comment below what you think about the story. If you're the contractor and you're doing the work without signatures, without approvals, this is the risk you take. Every time you do it, you might get not paid at the end or might have a dispute. What's on paper is the only thing that counts. You're the contractor. Sign a contract before you do any work. If you're the homeowner and you have your story, you want my help, maybe you have a story to share or you have a dispute with a contractor and want my help, reach out. My number is below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.